It took me 7 years in the gym to realise that most of what I was doing that felt productive actually wasn't. I wasn't lazy or inconsistent. I was just lost in new information, conflicting arguments from fame-hungry influencers, and fed up that what on the face of it should have been working just wasn't. And if you've been training for a few years, you look decent, you're clearly in shape, but progress feels painfully slow or unpredictable, this is for you. These are 7 lessons it took me 7 years to learn. And if you're new to this channel, I attempt to make training and physique progression as simple and as automated as possible. I have a busy corporate city job in London, and the principles I teach are what I've learned whilst navigating a pretty hectic schedule and not having ample time to focus on the tiny 1% movers like most fitness influencers can. For a long time, I thought soreness was the goal. If I could barely walk, sit down, or straighten my arms, I assumed I'd done something useful. But muscle doesn't grow just because it's damaged or sore. It grows because it experiences high mechanical tension, close enough to failure that it's forced to adapt. Excessive muscle damage just increases recovery time without increasing growth. And the irony is the sessions that leave you crippled are usually the least productive. Once I stopped chasing soreness and started chasing weekly load progression, I started seeing clear progress in my physique. I stopped doing 20 set high volume chest sessions and just focused on fewer quality higher sets that I'd look to improve week to week. If you're looking for somewhere to start, then I'd suggest 4 sets per body part twice a week. Similarly, whilst we're on the topic of training, the way I organise my time in the gym across the week has changed so much since I started. When we talk about frequency, we're referring to how often you can expose a muscle to high quality stimulus while still being adequately recovered. And this is usually 2 or 3 times a week for the average lifter. If you annihilate a muscle once a week and need 6 days to recover, that's not optimal, it's just aggressive. Hitting a muscle more frequently with slightly lower volume allows you to accumulate more effective reps across the week and more opportunities to progress. If you train twice a week, you have double the amount of first set stimulus than someone that trains each body part once a week in a bro split style. This next one was difficult for me to understand at first, as it seems so far removed from training, but it's stress management. Your body doesn't differentiate between work stress, life stress, and training stress. It's all just stress, and when stress is high, recovery capacity drops. Sleep quality, appetite, digestion, hormone signaling, they all take a hit. You can train perfectly and still stall if the rest of your life is chaotic. It improved when I managed stress better and stopped pretending it didn't matter. I focused more on managing the various stresses I was placing on my body, whether that be mental or physical, and this really did move the needle in terms of physique development. Things like adequate sleep, introducing journaling, mindfulness practices, and breath work sound wishy-washy, but really do move the needle. The idea that variation and shocking the muscle also took me quite a few years to move away from. Variety feels productive. New exercises, new splits, new stimulus, but muscle growth comes from progression, not novelty. If you change movements every week, you never actually get strong at anything. And if you're not measurably stronger with more reps, more load, or better control, you're just not progressing. Boring training done consistently beats exciting training done randomly. I think people get confused that as you adapt to a movement pattern and you get less DOMs, that it suddenly becomes less efficient at building muscle, but it's actually the complete opposite. This is one of my larger errors, and it's simply just thinking nutrition is just calories and protein, but that's the baseline, not the ceiling. Micronutrition is massively undervalued. Micronutrients play a direct role in reducing oxidative stress, supporting mitochondrial function, and regulating inflammation, all of which influence how well you can recover and grow. If micronutrient intake is poor, oxidative stress stays elevated, recovery slows, and hypertrophy becomes harder to sustain. You don't need exotic supplements, you just need food variety, fruits, vegetables, minerals, just consistently. Growth isn't just about building tissue, it's about managing the internal environment that allows it. I used to treat sleep like something I'd fix when life calms down, and it never did. Sleep is where muscle protein synthesis is supported, hormones are regulated, and the nervous system resets. You can't shortcut it. It's not just hours of sleep, it's the whole routine. Consistent bedtimes, reduced light exposure, proper wind down rituals. The lifters who progress long term aren't motivated, they're just better at recovering. And finally, and probably most importantly, everything takes longer than you expect. Muscle gain is slow, fat loss is slow, and recomposition is slower than both. Most people quit not because they're doing everything wrong, but because their expectations are unrealistic. When you accept that progress takes years, not weeks, everything becomes easier. You train smarter, you stop chasing shortcuts, and you stay consistent. Patience is unfortunately key. I'm 7 years in and I have the physique I thought I'd have after 3 years of training. Granted, the 7 years haven't been perfect, but even if you are nailing everything, it will usually take double the time you think it will. And so enjoying the process and not rushing is probably the sensible option. So that's 7 years of mistakes condensed into 7 minutes. If this helped, drop a like and subscribe. And if you want results without living in the gym, that's what this channel is about. Clarity, consistency, and no nonsense.